What if I told you that your husband or wife is already looking for you? That Allah has designated someone for you, but they're too scared to come to you? You think you're alone. You think you're still waiting. But what you don't know is that on the other side of the silence, someone is struggling, not against you, but against themselves, against their wounds, against their fears. And while you doubt, your soul feels it. You feel that weight, that invisible pressure, that nameless waiting. It's their call. What if your role now wasn't to seek, but to pray? What if the fast you were observing today could open a path for them tomorrow? It's no coincidence that you're hearing this message. Perhaps Allah is saying to you, I have chosen them for you. Now pray for them as if they were for yourself. This isn't a video about romantic love. It's a video about the sacred mission of love written by Allah, about the connection between souls, about the power of silence, and about the role you must play even before you meet them. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear could transform your anticipation into a prayer, and your prayer into a divine encounter. 1. The wall of silence. Why they're afraid to come to you. You feel it. It's not just a thought. It's not a romantic illusion you invent to fill a void. It's deeper. It's like a vibration, a certainty without proof, a breath that crosses your heart at unpredictable moments. Somewhere there is someone meant for you, someone Allah wrote for you, but this person doesn't come. And this silence, this emptiness you feel, this lack that nothing can fill, it's not rejection. It's an invisible barrier, a wall of pain, a weight this person carries without you seeing it. She saw you in her dreams. She felt you in her prayers. But she's afraid of not being good enough. Fear of loving again and of suffering again. Fear that you are too pure, too grounded, too stable for her broken heart, for her dark areas that she is still trying to heal. And in this fear, she chooses silence, not out of indifference, but because the chaos she faces is louder than the peace you could offer her. In Islamic wisdom, we understand that true love does not fall from the sky unprepared. It is preceded by trials, self-questioning, and purification. And if this person is slow to come to you, it may be because Allah, in His Rahmah, is protecting her. He shapes her. He heals her. He repairs every crack you couldn't bear to discover without it having been healed by Him first. Perhaps at this very moment, she feels unworthy of the love you are willing to give. Perhaps she's struggling with beliefs, hurts, or past mistakes that whisper to her that she doesn't deserve someone like you. Perhaps she's watching you from afar, without even knowing you yet, but feels that energy, that connection, and wonders, how could I be the right person for someone like that? But what you must understand is that your role is not to save her. You are not the healer, Allah is. Your role is to wait actively, not passively, not in frustration, not in doubt, but in supplication, in aligned silence, in the certainty that what is yours by divine decree will never be missed. Remember this. Sometimes Allah delays an encounter so it doesn't happen suddenly. He wants it to happen at a time of spiritual stability, not emotional confusion. And sometimes He shows you this person in a dream, or lets you feel their presence in your heart, not so that you go looking for them, but so that you can take your place in prayer. Yes, your supplication is a light that penetrates invisible walls, a light that says to the other, I am here, I am waiting for you, but I will not force anything. I pray for your peace, even before our union. And this light, it can be felt. Wherever your future spouse is, he or she may feel a sudden tranquility without understanding why. A desire to reform, to draw closer to Allah. an inner strength that grows without explanation. What if it were you? What if it were your voice in the night, whispering their name in a sincere dua? What if your Monday or Thursday fast, your prayers in the last third of the night, your regular istighfar, became the chains that tear down, one by one, the walls they have erected around their hearts? You must know this. Fear is not a refusal. It is a request for time. Silence is not an absence. It is a sacred space in which Allah works, and your waiting, if it is nourished by faith, prayer, and trust, is anything but in vain. So continue. Continue to be light even in the invisible. Continue to believe in this bond that you cannot yet name, but that your soul already knows. For it is not you who must cross this wall. It is Allah who, through your prayer, will bring it down, brick by brick. 2. The spiritual signal. Why you feel their pain. Without knowing them, you're there, quiet, for no apparent reason. And suddenly, your heart tightens. An inexplicable anguish. A tear wells up without cause. A shortness of breath, as if you're missing something, but you don't know what. You look around you. Everything is fine. You're safe. You're at peace on the outside. But your soul vibrates at a frequency you don't even understand. And in that moment, you feel a weight, as if a part of you is crying without knowing why, as if the echo of another heart is beating inside yours. You've never seen them. You don't know their faces, but you feel their pain. You carry a nostalgia that's not based on any memory, and yet it's not a mirage. It's a ruhani signal. In the invisible reality that Allah created, beyond what eyes can see and ears can hear, souls recognize each other even before paths cross. You feel their chaos, their loneliness, their silent cry for help. And what you feel in your heart is not an emotional fiction. It is a heavenly invitation to connect through prayer. Allah is the one who unites hearts, not hands, not glances, but hearts. And when He begins to unite you with someone, you don't always notice it through outward signs. You feel it through those emotional waves that come without warning. Sometimes you are in prayer, concentrating, and suddenly you feel a pain invade you, as if a silent voice were whispering, "Pray for me, I am lost." And your heart, without knowing to whom it is speaking, begins to make dua. This is no coincidence. It is a divine mission. It may be that your soul was chosen to intercede for this person, long before you ever knew each other. It may be that your invocation is the light in the darkness of their heart. It may be that your discreet, silent fasting opens the doors of healing for someone you have never met, but were always destined to love. This is where we understand the depth of the Ruhaniya connection. This bond doesn't require words, messages, or physical presence. This bond transcends dimensions. This bond is spiritual before it is emotional. And if you feel it so intensely, it's because you have been prepared by Allah to carry this vibration, to be an invisible refuge for another. You may be the one who prays without a name, who invokes without a face. But in the invisible world, your name is mentioned in their deliverance. Think about it. What if, while you feel this heaviness, this person is crying somewhere? What if your heart beats faster because their heart is broken? What if it wasn't a coincidence, but a divine call to become a spiritual pillar before being an earthly partner? Love in Islam doesn't begin with attraction, nor a message, nor a presence. It begins with the responsibility of the heart, and feeling the pain of another without even knowing them is proof that your heart is alive, aligned, connected, and chosen. So don't doubt. Don't push this intuition away. Don't trivialize what your heart is trying to tell you. This signal, this emotional intensity you are experiencing, may be a dua circulating between two souls that destiny is gently aligning. And your response to this signal should not be impatience or questioning, but worship, pray, fast. Wake up in the last third of the night and say, "O Allah, I don't know for whom I feel this, but you know. Ease their heart, ease their pain, grant them peace, and prepare us to meet in your perfect timing. Because in Allah's universe, nothing is accidental, and sometimes the strongest bond is the one no one sees, but that two souls carry together, at a distance in silence, but under the gaze of the Almighty." 3. The hidden battle. Their heart fights to reach you. Imagine a dark room, a silhouette, alone, hands clasped, breathless. They've just woken up from a dream in which you were. Your face blurred, but your energy evident. They jumped up, their hearts pounded. They knew it wasn't just a dream. It was a direction, an answer, a reminder. But then, the inner turmoil returns. The memories take over. The poorly healed wounds, the disappointments of yesterday, the betrayals they buried without ever truly healing. And suddenly, despite the signs, despite their feelings, doubt creeps in. It's not that they don't want you. It's that they don't know if they're capable, unable to love properly, unable to give themselves away, unable to live up to what you deserve. They fight against their past, against their fear, against the inner voices that tell them they're going to mess everything up again. And yet, they think of you, often, intensely, sincerely. The fight isn't external. You're not the enemy. It's them against themselves. It's their nafs that screams, resists, trembles. And in Islam, this fight has a name, the greatest jihad. Yes, the inner jihad. The one that can't be seen, but consumes. The one that leaves invisible scars. The one that is experienced in the silence of a heart on fire. This person your heart is waiting for is perhaps fighting to deserve the right to love you. And you're here, perhaps miles away, in another city, another life, and you think it's silence, that it's absence. But in truth, it's a war, and you are at the center of this inner war. Your name may be whispered in their invocations. Your image may be what drives them to get back up after each fall. Your existence, even as yet unknown, may be the motivation to become better. But fear is tenacious. The shaitan is cunning. He will come and tell them, "You will never be ready. You don't deserve someone good. You have nothing to offer." And these thoughts go round and round. They chain them. They slow their progress. That's where Allah brings you in, not as a savior, but as an intercessor, as a silent supporter, like light in their darkness. You may not know them, but you are their spiritual partner before you are their husband or wife. And what you do here on earth, in their absence, can strengthen their ability to emerge victorious. Fast for their strength. Make dua for their liberation. Wake up and ask Allah to grant them the courage to face what paralyzes them. Say, "O Allah, give him clarity. Silence the voices of doubt. Grant him trust. Guide his steps to you and to me, if that is what you have written." You are not passive. You are not forgotten. You are active in their rebirth. What you do in your silence has a direct impact on their struggle. This is not a one-sided dream. This is not a romantic illusion. This is a spiritual commitment. Because in Islam, to love is not to wait impatiently. It is to serve patiently. And right now, to serve means praying for their victory, as if it were your own. Because it is. Destiny is not a sudden miracle. It is a gradual alignment, fueled by faith, sacrifice, and invisible struggles. So don't think your role begins the day you meet. It began long before. It begins now. You are their strength, even from a distance, even invisibly, because your love begins with their healing. 4. The hidden power of fasting, how you protect them without knowing it. Fasting is more than abstaining from food, drink, or desires. It's an invisible door that opens between you and the unknown, a silent act that releases unsuspected waves of mercy. And what you may not realize is that when you fast for them, you touch them without seeing them. You help them without knowing them. You protect them without speaking to them. Allah has made fasting a shield. But this shield is not limited to your own soul. It becomes a shelter for those you sincerely hold in your heart. It becomes a bulwark against the trials they face, a protection against the invisible arrows of doubt, waswas, and trauma that would turn them away from you and, above all, from their path to Allah. Every day you fast with pure intention, not to impress, not to check a box, but to ask your Lord to guide, strengthen, and protect the one He has chosen for you. That day becomes a witness to your patience, to your selfless love, to your faith in the unseen. Therein lies the beauty. You don't need to know their name. You don't need to see their face. You don't even need them to know you exist. All you have to do is say in the secret of your heart, "Oh Allah, I don't yet know who this person is, but you know. So fast after fast, I entrust their wounds to you. I entrust their doubts to you. I entrust their healing to you." And Allah, the gentle, the all-knowing, hears what others ignore. He sees what no one sees. It rewards what no one understands. Fasting is a language of the soul, and this language reaches hearts even before words are exchanged. Sometimes the one you are destined for is faltering. Perhaps they want to give up. Perhaps they are about to make a choice that would lead them away from the path Allah has laid out for them. And at that precise moment, your fast becomes a wall between them and misguidance. Your supplication in their state of weakness becomes their sudden strength. Your invisible act becomes a light on their path. Because fasting is the act of the believer who loves without possessing. It is the weapon of one who wishes good for someone they do not yet know. And Allah, in His perfect justice, never lets these sacrifices fall into vain. You do not fast to hasten the meeting. You don't fast to force destiny. You fast to participate in their transformation. And this sacrifice is nobler than any romantic expectations. It's not a whim, it's a spiritual commitment. You choose, day after day, to send them an energy that transcends the barriers of time, place, and circumstance. You offer them what's most sincere in you, your devotion, and you place their fate in the hands of the best of protectors. And if one day this person is revealed to you, if their eyes meet yours and their lips whisper Ameen to your Ya Allah of old, you will understand that everything you have sown has blossomed in the invisible. That every fast, every tear, every discreet submission to Allah has built this bond, a pure bond, a sacred bond, a bond rooted in love for Allah before love for the other. You have protected your future without having yet touched it. And this is the hidden power of fasting. It transforms you, it protects them, and it attracts blessings to a union still in its infancy. 5. The written encounter. When Allah's time comes, nothing can stop it. One day, without warning, without noise, without commotion, one day will come, and it will be the day. The one that no earthly clock can announce, the one that only the heavens know. And when that moment descends upon you, nothing and no one will be able to prevent it. They will be there, standing before you. But you won't need a long speech, nor 1,000 explanations. You won't need to try to understand them. For your soul will recognize them before your mind analyzes them. Their eyes, even tired, will be familiar. Their voice, even trembling, will resonate in a corner of you that you thought was empty. For you have already heard them in your nights. You have already seen them in your prayers. You've already held them in your heart when you said, "O Allah, I don't know who they are, but you know. So protect them, guide them, and bring them to me when the time is right for you. And that moment is here. It's not a coincidence. It's not the result of chance. It's the silent fulfillment of a divine scripture, a decree inscribed in the invisible long before your birth. And when Allah decides that this moment arrives, no emotional barrier, no geographical distance, no past hurt, no apparent delay, nothing can stop it. They will look at you with that tenderness that no explanation can justify. And perhaps they will say, their voices filled with truth, I was afraid, I doubted, I fled. But there was something that always brought me back to you. And that something, you will recognize it. It was your patience. It was your submission. It was your constancy in the invisible. It was your heart that never ceased to believe that love, true love, the kind that begins with Allah, always returns. Insha'Allah, you supported them even before you met them. You carried their name in your heart before you knew it. And without knowing it, you planted the seeds of a blessed union in every fast, every dua, every night you cried for no apparent reason. And now they are here, carried by the winds of Rahmah, freed from their chains, brought back to you by the one who unites hearts. That day, you will understand that you have never been alone, that your wait was not in vain, that every pain, every solitude, every silence was part of the journey. And perhaps they will say to you, with tears in their eyes, thank you for praying for me when I couldn't even pray for myself. You won't have to answer. Your gaze will be enough. For souls who have called each other in the invisible have no need for long conversations. They find each other again as if they had simply lost their way, one from the other, in a world too noisy. And then you will know. It was not a dream, it was not an illusion, it was written. And when Allah writes, the entire universe bows. You heard their call, even if they can't speak yet. You felt their presence, even if they haven't yet met your gaze. And you know now that it's no coincidence. Allah doesn't show you everything, but He shows you enough to act, fast for them, pray for their healing, intercede for their faith. For every dua you make now is a hand reaching out to their heart. So today, do something different. Say a prayer for the person destined for you, even if you don't know them, even if you can't see them. Allah sees, and He unites hearts at the perfect moment. Share this video with someone who might also need to pray for their future spouse. Comment, I pray for you, even though I don't know you yet, if you feel this invisible connection. And above all, never underestimate the power of your prayer. For your Ameen can be the light that extinguishes their fear and guides them to you.